Okay. Well, hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming Sam Yadav and Kam Utter with Quest Safety to learn a little bit about the work that they do, both as individuals and as their larger organization, and about their employment opportunities. So thank you both for giving us some of your time today. And I'll go ahead and I'll start. I want you each to get a chance to introduce yourself, but I'll just kind of tack on a question with that as well. So, Sam is the company's president. I will start with you. But if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and about the work of Quest, the work that you do there for people who are less familiar.
Thank you, Jenny. So I'm Sam Yadav. I'm the CEO of Quest Safety Products. We are a manufacturer and distributor of what is everybody knows as PPE, personal protection equipment. And what we do is really work very closely within three markets. Our goal is to protect workers in any environment. The largest market we work within is pharmaceutical manufacturing. So the companies that you know locally, Eli Lilly, Roche Diagnostics. Nationally, you might know Merck, AstraZeneca, Bristol Myers Squibb, Genentech. Those are some of the companies we work closely with. What we do is we help their safety managers develop protocol and acquire the right products so that their workers can help make life-saving drugs. We also make sure that the work areas are protected from any debris that comes in that an individual might bring into the work atmosphere. So it's very, very tactical. We're working with FDA facilities. So that's 65% of what we do. Then another 10% is with environmental remediation and DOE contractors that do removal of nuclear waste, asbestos waste, lead waste. Then the other section is utilities. Veterans, citizens, those are all some of our customers that we make sure that their workers are protected in the field. And our fastest growing group is we're taking everything we learned from the three previous groups and our 25 years of experience, and we're taking that to Amazon. And that's where Kam is critical to our mission of making sure we're protecting everyone as they do their work and they can go home safely to their families.
Which we so appreciate. I was saying, before we started the recording, just how relevant the work that you're doing is, and very fascinating. And that's a great segue into letting Kam introduce himself. So we're also very fortunate to have Kam Utter with us, who is the Quest Safety e-commerce sales manager. Hope I said that right. And a 2017 graduate of Marion. So we're kind of doubly blessed to have him here. So Kam, in addition to introducing yourself, I wanted to see if you could share a little bit about how you initially got connected with Quest and what your journey has looked like since being there.
My name's Kam Utter, and like Jenny mentioned, I'm the e-commerce sales manager at Quest Safety Products. It's just a fancy way of saying that I run our Amazon account day to day. So it's a really, really fun job. I'm a Marion University alumni. 2017, while I was there, I was lucky enough to be a part of 2 national championships with the football team. So that was awesome. How the whole connected with Sam was I was looking for an internship in the summer going into my senior year, and I connected with Ellen Witt in the exchange, and she connected me with Sam. Although I was a psychology major, I wanted a little bit of a different test when it came to an internship. So I went with the Quest route, and because of the different relationships I've made here and established. After I graduated from Marion, psychology, pursuing a master's there, decided it wasn't for me, came back to Sam. He was my first call when I decided to get out of that program. And I said, do you have anything for me? And he said, of course. And it was the Amazon program. And so he said, I need you to take this and I need you to run the account for us. So it's been almost 2 years that I've been running this account. Actually, June 1st will be exactly 2 years from when I started. And it's been an awesome ride.
And Kam, you have to either angle up and show the camera your appropriate attire you're wearing today. There we go. That's perfect. Thank you.
My head's cut off, but
you've got both features there.
That when he took over the account, we were doing less than $1,000 a month. And over the last 24 months, he has grown the account to where we are doing, we're approaching $400,000 a month. And that's not easy to do. And it takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of commitment, and a lot of hard work to take a plan. And while it's wonderful on paper, to actually execute it, that I think is 90% of the whole challenge. And Cam has done that amazingly well.
And I hope that's on your LinkedIn profile, right, Cam?
Of course.
That's great. Well, Sam, I know you talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but would love you to just expand on that with any other additions you have. But so obviously in this time, again, the work that you're doing is so relevant. So how has COVID-19 impacted the work of your organization, both in terms of the products that you make and in terms of personnel and just your daily operations?
So, it's interesting. We're categorized as an essential company. So during the entire time, because of our distribution and our contacts, and we're actually right downtown. So we're a few minutes away, walking distance actually, from Eli Lilly, who's a good customer of ours. So it was important that we maintain the service level for our customers and help them produce the life-saving drugs, helping them ensure that their workers were safe, whether it's a utility company or an environmental remediation contractor or a pharmaceutical. So what it meant for us was to manage that supply chain. And while it seems really easy to manage a supply chain, what's challenging is when your major customers, or rather your major suppliers, have to reduce the amount of supplies they can provide you because they're doing the right thing by sharing that with the healthcare industry and going to where it's needed most. Our job is to figure out how do we get the right products to our customers so they can do their jobs well. An example would be 3M respiratory products. When we used to get as much as we needed, we were now allowed only 10% of what was available. What that meant is we were on allocation. We couldn't promise product to our customers like we did in the past. So what that forced us to do was to go out and find other sources and really get to know our customers even more to find better solutions. So recently, one of my favorite authors is a gentleman by the name of Patrick Lencioni, and I was listening to one of his podcasts. And what was important in the podcast is this time in our careers, we will see innovation and the using our grit to get through this time period will be the highest we've ever seen. We will actually come out stronger because of what we're going through. The importance is how do we keep ourselves calm, think clearly, and look for the right solutions so that we meet our customers' needs. So if you think about respirators, safety glasses, disposable garments, gloves, nitrile gloves, face masks, those are all the things that we're searching throughout the world for, qualifying them, bringing them to Indianapolis, and sending that out to all of our customers. Now, what I never thought I would have to look for is hand sanitizers that were acceptable within pharmaceutical manufacturing. But we found an entire supply chain after a lot of ups and downs that now is consistent and will become a natural part of our business. And for our customers, they were just so excited that that was one less thing they had to worry about. So when you think about what our real role is to protect the workers and make it so that our customers don't have to worry about safety. They can focus on what they are supposed to do every day.
That's so great to hear.
Yeah, we've learned a lot in this small amount of time. Even though it feels like eternity, the last few months have been very educational. And I'm really proud of what the whole team has done. They've really stood out.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I'd say the same thing just about just the creativity I've seen from like every, the religious organizations that have all had to convert to doing their services online, and just the creativity of universities and employers and how they've been able to not really miss a beat and jump in there and in your case have to modify the work that you're doing and the products that you have available, but to still be effective in that work and to help us all out. So thank you for that. As far as your personnel, so are you currently hiring for full-time, part-time internships? And if not currently, what does that look like down the road, and kind of in which areas are you hiring for?
I'm gonna let Cam get that started because he's the one who's responsible, as an add-on to his already busy day. He's responsible for all of the interns that join us and where they get placed, and he meets with them weekly. So I'm gonna let him start with the intern program, and then also what's happening with, we don't call it Amazon here. We call it Camazon, because he is Amazon to us.
I love that. I should have made that your title instead of Kam Utter. We could add Camazon down there.
Yeah. I swear I did not make that up myself. Marty, our senior operations manager, made it up, but it can't lie. It's got a good little ring to it. So
It needs to be on LinkedIn too.
Amazon Utter.
That's right.
No, so right now, actually, it's pretty cool to speak about it. We have 2 full-time Marian University interns with us, right? So that's awesome. And then we also have, under that Marian University umbrella, St. Joe Indy, we have Andrea Samano, who is our first St. Joe Indy intern, and she works part-time while she also goes to school, their whole Earn and Learn program. So once we heard about that, we knew we definitely wanted to be a part of it. And then just going back, I guess, just a little history on how the internship program started. I was Sam's first intern at Quest, and basically one of the projects he gave me was an internship program for Quest partnering together, going further in the future. So we've continued to build that, and I counted the other day, and I believe we've had 12 plus Marian interns in the last just 2 to 3 years. So I think it makes me excited that we're able to give back to Marian, the place that gave me so much. In terms of full-time, part-time interns, we're pretty full for this summer, but once the fall comes around, we'll be looking again. A couple of our interns, I believe, won't be able to be here for the fall. So we will be searching for interns. Areas we're always looking in is help with the Amazon team, marketing, operations, those areas of our business to help grow our company. Anyways, for full-time positions, Sam, I'll let you speak to that outside of internships.
Sure. So, as a growing company, we at the last year we had double-digit growth. We went into this year even stronger. So there's a high demand for quality individuals for our organization. We have an opening and an entry-level position within our accounting department, and that person works very closely with the controller and does financial analysis as well as vendor management. We also have an opening in operations. This individual is really going to be multifaceted. This is a full-time position where they would help with the efficiencies of the warehouse and warehouse operations. They would be a backup to the purchasing team and source products with us. And lastly, they would be looking at some of the new IT technology that we need to grow to the next level. So it's a lot for one person, but I think it gives you a really good position to understand how to build an infrastructure for an organization that's growing. One of the positions we're putting the pieces together now for is a loose title will be product manager or brand manager. The goal of this person is to help me develop the products that our customers are telling us that are in demand. 50% of their work would be to source the components for these products. 50% of that is to help with the marketing efforts and putting that together so that we can make sure we meet our customers' needs. That one will be a really challenging position. It'll also be a brand new position with the organization. That position will tie in to the Amazon project because whatever we develop for our customers, we'll want in some format of it to be offered on Amazon so we can help the general public as well.
I'll go ahead and throw in there since you're looking for, as Sam spoke earlier before we began recording, a right-hand man to help me manage the day-to-day and manage our central Amazon account so we can open up some time to continue to go on and grow the account through projects like what Sam just mentioned, building products to help build our Quest brand on Amazon. So
That's great. And I'd love to hear a take from both of you on this, but what are the qualities that you think of when you're looking at a candidate? I mean, obviously there's the job description and the kind of nuts and bolts of the job that they need to know that might vary from job to job, but what are some of the qualities and things you look for in a candidate that really stand out?
I'll start with that one. There was a book, once again, my favorite author, Patrick Lancioni, and it was called Ideal Team Player. And if you get an opportunity to pick up the book, it is just a great read, very quick. It's set up as a fable. And so I really enjoyed it. But there were 3 things that come out of that book. The individuals who are highly successful within Quest are hungry, humble, and smart. Hungry means they want to learn. That's something that's continuous in their nature. And they want to do more. They don't come in and just say, here's what I'm going to do for the day. They're looking for ways to stretch themselves, to challenge themselves, and build new skills. And so those people always do well here. The other one is humble. There's no way to build a successful organization if it's made up of one person. You can't do everything. So you understand your strengths and weaknesses, you surround yourself and align yourself with team members who fill in the gaps, and you're their backup and they're your backup. And if you understand how that you're a part of that team and how that team can be successful, then being hungry and humble will take you extremely far. And then the last piece is just having I call it emotional intelligence, understanding what your team members need, what you need, and what the customer needs. And that isn't being smart, it's being inquisitive, asking questions, and putting yourself in their position. When we find somebody who has all three, and that's really rare, they're rock stars. When we find people who have 2 out of 3, they are stars. They're going to be successful. Cam, would you like to add to that? You've been training a lot of new people.
Yeah, sure. So going along with that hungry, humble, smart, we actually integrate a little bit of personal and professional growth into each intern's experience at Quest. So actually, the first book that they read is The Ideal Team Player. For interns specifically, we obviously look to align our interns with our company's culture. So we look for students who are hungry, humble, and smart. But I'll also add another one. I look for students that they're not just there to get the credit, for their business courses. They're there to learn, and they care. There's a why behind what they're doing, and we look for those people. And also, when we bring on a new employee, I present a PowerPoint that's called the Quest Colonnades. It's essentially 10 points, 10 things that we look for here at Quest that are embedded into our culture, so that those new employees get a great idea of what they're walking into and what's expected of them.
That's great. I'm making some notes as we talk, and I'm going to have to check that book out because I've not read that myself, but that sounds great. And that's really cool that you have the interns read that on the way in. That sets a really good foundation for you guys to relate on what's the expectation and kind of the ideal scenario. So thank you for sharing that. Cam, you're kind of an example of this. You're very much an example of this yourself, but I'm curious what career growth looks like at Quest, and if yours was the anomaly where you came in as an intern and have really grown within the company, or if that's something where you guys tend to hire from within and really hope to make that more of a model. So again, we'd just like to hear about the career growth within Quest and opportunities for that.
So I guess, yeah, I am a really good example of that. I got a full-time job here and was given a specific task to be our e-commerce side of our business grow. So I've definitely kind of experienced that growth in the organization firsthand. But speaking to other interns, we've had that after their internship was complete, they came on full time. Maurice Woodard and Dylan Dittemore. They both respectively were in some position of sales. Dylan Dittemore was in an account rep position. Maurice handled more customer service and inside sales. But I would definitely say that career growth in Quest it's a thing, and it happens. And if you're, you want to go forward with Quest and you show that effort and you have a great performance while you're with us during your internship, that's something Sam and I have always talked about as an end goal for an internship. Currently, we have Andrea here from St. Joe Indy, and she's still got some time with school, but we would love for her to be here long term. And once school's over for her, we're always going to encourage her to get however much schooling you want, just her associates, a bachelor's or a master's. We'll encourage her to go get those. But whenever the day has come where she's done with her education, we would love for her to be a part of our team. So those kind of things, we seek that. We that's our end goal, Sam and I, is to prep students for the future. So when they come out, they're in a good position to take off when their young professional career starts.
Now, Jenny, we do look for people to grow within our organization. I think, as you said, Cam is a perfect example. If you take a look, to bring people in, we want them to understand our culture and the importance and value we bring to our customers. We also want them to grow with us through business practices, business learnings. So what's important to us is it's difficult when you're a small company to say, well, the next role is vice president and president. What we do is exactly what we did with Cam. As his project started growing, we started building a team around him and coached him as to, okay, here's how you lead. Here's how you hold people accountable. Here's how you look at your financials as if it was your own business, because someday maybe that's what you end up doing. And I think that allowed Cam to understand the responsibilities of saying, this is me taking care of this project to, here's a team that I need to build and motivate. And that's what we want for all the professionals that come to us. How do we help you build a team around you? Because that is the one skill that will transfer in every aspect of your career.
That's great to hear. And that's something we always look for in our employer partners, the people who see that value. And they tend to be the employers who really have a great internship program, because they're not just using somebody as kind of like a short term. It's really very much meant to be an onboarding if that's a good fit on both parties. So that's great. And I plan to share this recording to St. Joe's Indy. I'm sure they will not mind at all hearing that little plug for their program and their students. So that's great. I'm assuming Andrea knows that she is being looked at in that way, but if not, I'll be like, well, check this out. You'll like this video. So, so I'd like to hear from each of you just what your kind of your favorite part of working at Quest is. What gets you excited, or what do you like best about working there?
Cam, why don't you start?
Okay. I love Quest first because of Sam and Vanita and the opportunity they've given me. I'm a firm believer that Quest is, if you show the effort to invest in yourself, invest in your future, they're going to invest in you. So the perfect example is just the Amazon project that I run, the Amazon team. You know, Sam gave me this idea, I took it and I ran with it, and he supported me every second along the way. So he's turned into a mentor of mine. So that's awesome. And then other than that, I really enjoy working at Quest because of the culture that we've worked so hard to establish. There's not a dull day here. And I like to think working with everybody, there's a lot of love here. There really is a lot of love. And there's also, at the same time, that drive to want to be better and want to grow. And I think COVID-19 and this unprecedented situation has really brought out the true culture of Quest and who we really are, because people have just been working like crazy, working hours. You know, I know one of our purchasing team members has been here till like every night just to get stuff done. But at the same time, everybody's supporting each other and working together. And it's a beautiful thing that Sam and Benita built.
You know, as the owner of a business, I get the pleasure of hiring people that I want to hang out with. And I think that makes the most fun for everything I do. The other part is I get to create. I get to take a look. Because of our size, we have so much agility and innovation. We can look at a customer's problem and come up with a unique solution. And that's what makes it fun. We're not restricted by certain protocols that larger companies have, because it's an idea of Cam or one of the other managers coming to me and say, I got an idea. And here's why I think it's important that we look at this. And we're going to look at it and we're going to invest in it if they've made their case as solid as they can. So I think that's the fun part. I'm working with friends every day. We're helping people stay safe. We're bringing a tremendous amount of value to our community. And at the end of the day, in my role, my worst day is still the best day I could ever have.
That's great. Well, for those of you those who watch this and might hear about the great opportunities that you have, and certainly the great organization and mentoring opportunities that you have and career growth opportunities, where is the best place for them to find positions that you're hiring for and the best way to connect with you?
Yeah. Yeah. I would just say easiest is just direct contact via email. So my email is Cameron U K, so KAMERONU.com. Or reaching out to Sam as well. His email is Sam SAMY at questsafety.com. Jobs up on indianaintern.net, and we have posted jobs on as well, so you can look at those sites occasionally as well.
And just to reiterate, I know at least on my end that broke up just a little bit there. So the email you just mentioned was Cameron U at questsafety.com or Sam Y at questsafety.com, but you also have opportunities on, and that emailing is kind of the preferred way to go, and probably the best way to get in touch, but you also have opportunities listed on Indiana Internet and on Handshake. And for any Marian students that see this, just as of this week, we actually have Indiana Internet. Their opportunities feed directly into Handshake, so you can go there and possibly see it listed on either site, but it will be embedded there, so that's a great place to check out as well. Well, first of all, thank you to both of you for sharing your insights and for allowing us to have this time together. I know that you guys are busy all the time, but probably not ever so much as you are right now. So getting to spend some time with you during this period is especially wonderful, and I'm especially grateful for it.